This is where the fun begins.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is.
Indeed it is. Welcome, everyone, to the Out of Character podcast, proudly presented by the Sports Jedi Media Network on YouTube, Sports Jedi Network, everywhere else, including on audio. As you can see, my co-host today is not Mr. Thomas because he's already doing 2 podcasts with me this week, and that's one too many. So he definitely wasn't going to do 3. But thank you, Kev, Sports Jedi Sith extraordinaire, Kev, for stepping in.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. And our special guest, Sabrina Estella, the wrestling doll, the Cuban Barbie, and you are the world champion. Let's see that title.
Well, it's a different title than the one I was holding, because technically that one wasn't mine, but
This one is yours?
yes.
And
Well,
what title
no,
is that? Let's go. What is the...
For
what is
every collector out there, for every women's wrestling fan out there, the Bella Twins Diva Belt.
Very good. But you were or are the champion of a Tampa Bay wrestling promotion. Is that correct?
Well, for 5 seconds.
For 5
And then I
seconds.
graciously held it. And I think I was a pretty good champion holder.
Okay. What happened? Someone cashed in the money in the bank or something like that?
I guess so.
That's terrible.
A couple people did try. I defended it for a little bit. And was ultimately defeated in the end. For now.
Yes. Well, who is it that did ultimately... Well, who did you defeat and who defeated you?
It was a sneak attack. I have no idea. They just pinned me from behind. The 1, 2, 3. They just blindsided me.
That's diabolical. You've got to get revenge. You've got to get the security footage. There's got to be angles.
Well, I
Someone
mean,
has to...
I record the security footage, so I gotta find it.
So you've no one to blame but yourself.
For right now,
Do you think there's a mole in your operation?
there are moles everywhere.
Well, do you know what I'm getting at? Because I happen to know someone who could be a heater who's in Tampa Bay who says he's not a wrestler anymore, but as of 5 months ago, he was a wrestler. And I believe he could be coaxed out of it for, just because it's easy to wrestle in Tampa Bay when you're in Tampa Bay. And his name is Mr. Thomas, and he's my best friend. And he's really big, and he can watch your back.
Well, I'll definitely see if I can reach out and get him to help me. Maybe
Oh,
act like a
certainly.
bodyguard of some sort.
Absolutely. Yes. No, I'm booking him, brother, without his permission. That's just the way we roll around here. All right. Everyone, we're going to back up a little bit because I know you all feel like you were dropped into the middle of a movie. And that is because I know Sabrina from another world not that long ago, but she and I were actually cast members of the same operation for a time called Unpopular Review. It still exists. It's still going.
I'm still there.
And she's still there. I am not, though I did fill in, I think, twice in the last year and a half on an emergency basis. But I think that the executive consultant there did things just to punish me for my past transgressions, but that's okay. And we're still all friends. I mean, in fact, I see the folks from Unpopular Review in person more than I see my in real life alleged friends here. So we're going to a wedding together. We go to wrestling together. We meet and things like that. So it's all good there. But this was years ago. You were a co-host. I was a co-host. you did some different shows, and every now and then we'd be on the same show. So at the time, were you training to be a wrestler?
At the time, I can't say that I was, but some things just happened, and I just wound up training for a teeny bit, but mostly have been training behind the scenes, catching everything on camera, and learning everything from everybody as I record, as well as putting it up on the interweb for everybody to see.
Who were you, was this just the Tampa Bay promotion? Did you did anything with Coastal or any other promotions?
I mean, I go and I record and I give the footage to some people, and they are very grateful that I give it to them quick enough. So I see and catch everything, and I know far too much.
Are you part of staff? Are you insider, or are you just a devoted fan who took good footage and became a reliable ally in the mission?
Well, it was I would go to shows, and sometimes they would either not have the footage, or we will have to wait too long, or we would never see the light of it would never see the light of day. And I just thought that's not fair. So I bought a camera. I bought one of those handheld ones, and I did that, and I went to shows and I'd put it up. Then I would tell people that, oh, I have this, you can watch it. We're very happy. I transitioned to another camera, and 5 years going strong on that.
So you prove yourself to be a reliable person, and then your footage went from being informal but really appreciated to you worked your way into you're part of the crew, and then you trained and learned what you could, and then and you've been a world champion
for 5 seconds. Absolutely.
Hey, that's 5 seconds more than I've been a world champion. How about you, Kevin?
Yeah, let me ask this question, Sabrina. ¿De dónde nace? Of course, we're gonna do a little bilingual. ¿De dónde nace el persona? That persona. Where did it give birth? That Bratz-style. I know your Cuban heritage and your persona. And where does that? ¿Dónde nació eso? Where did it begin? Where's your origin story when it comes whether in production and say I want to be part of this industry, this business, or as an in-ring competitor?
Well, as far as being in the business, it just kind of happened. I would go and support those that were a part of it, and occasionally I would, well, more than occasionally, would catch everything. And I guess a little bit just snuck its way out into being, let's get in there for a bit, even if it's just winning a belt for 5 seconds or being a valet for a bit.
Who's some of the people?
Let me give a follow up.
Yeah.
How great is it that eres Latina, una mujer Latina? You've seen how the rise of the Latina ladies are in the professional wrestling. They've always been there, but now they're more accentuated, especially with Valerie Lorena, aka Lola Vice, Selena Vega. The names there, you look up to them. I know you saw the Bella twins. You mentioned their titles. They're Latina descendant. How important is it, as for yourself, to follow that dream and in the industry, no matter what aspect of the profession? How big was that, and how big is that mark that you want to leave for other ladies of Latin descendants in the industry?
Well, I think it's always important to find someone that you can look up to, whether it is the Bellas, it is Lola Vice, Zelina, Raquel Rodriguez, in NXT, Reina Volcan. There's so many people you can look up to and be like, hey, I want to be like that, because it's hard to find representation, good representation, or just any in general. We finally got una Latina Cubana in the feds, so it's only a matter of time before someone else in the feds that happens to be Cuban gets signed. Don't know who it'll be. Don't think it'll be me, pero
no te limite. Nunca te limite. One thing you need to learn: never limit yourself. Our vocabulary or our mouth has a lot of authority. Don't worry. Let the doubters say that. You go out there and you prove yourself. Every time whether you have a match, whether you're working in production, wherever you do, There's always someone watching. It could be from the feds, it could be from All Elite, it could be from Total Nonstop. Always get that back in the mind. Even if there's only 4 people in the crowd, always think about that fourth one. One out of those 4 could be someone scouting you. Never limit yourself. Always pa'lante. I might sound like an old grandma, grandpa, pero pa'lante. Tú sabes que pa'lante, los jueces camina para atrás.
He's always giving me pep talks too.
Well, someone's got to.
Yeah, he's Mr. Positive. Does Cody Rhodes count?
Well, I mean, he is half Cuban, so yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and half a Cuban sandwich is better than no Cuban sandwich. That's for sure. I'm a proud member of the Bella Army. I know you mentioned Lola Vice before because she's from Cuba. Is she someone that you look forward to, or is she a rival that you're looking to take down?
I look forward to seeing her in every time I would watch. And now that she had her swan song of the match, I look forward to seeing what she will do up in the main roster. And hopefully they don't book her poorly. Because unfortunately, sometimes when they get called up, they either get booked well and then it goes down, or they get booked meh and it stays meh, and then it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. So that's Julia.
Well, Julia's been mostly down, but
Yeah, and that's not her fault.
I'm not sure if it is or if it isn't. But I'm mad at her because it seems to be affecting my low-key favor, which is Kiana James, who I want to see big things for her. So, which is neither here nor there. So, who have you worked with that we might know? And the depth of our knowledge is pretty good. So, Kevin is in Orlando. I believe you're not too far from that area as well. Obviously, you work with a Tampa Bay promotion, so clearly you're not that far anyway. So he probably knows a lot of the indie wrestlers there. I went to an MLW show down there, so I saw a lot of the local talent that was there at the MLW show, and I'm fairly well versed. We both know Ref David and where he came from, so
Well, he was one of the first people I saw when I started going, so
yeah,
definitely one for sure.
He's doing great.
Yes, he is. He's getting to work everywhere, going international at some points. I'm very happy for him.
I know, and somehow his father and his mother are still together. I can't believe she hasn't come to me yet, but
Oh my goodness gracious! Are you trying to be his new daddy?
Yes. Well, that's not really what I'm trying to do. That would just be an unfortunate side effect. I mean, about Dave. I love my little David in his own way. So, but I just, it's just his mother is age appropriate for me. That's all.
And as far as those that I've worked with in the scene over the years, woof, I've gone to quite a bit of the same shows, so I've seen a lot of the same people. Orlando's where it started for me, so I've seen the likes of those such as I've seen tag teams like The Gifted, Better Together, Wealth of Wrestling while they were still a thing. Let me see who else. I'm trying to think of names off the top of my head. There's been so many people I've met and worked with. Noah Vale, Ezreal Rowe. God, I'm trying to think. I have so many names to name. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to name them all right now. So if I can't think of anybody, I am so sorry. I have about 5 trunks of shirts everywhere. I can't think of anybody right now.
So let me ask this question. Which out of all those people, obviously someone has impacted you and someone is that you could rely on, like say whether to critique your match or your work. Is there anyone in particular in the industry that you are like gravitate as a mentor or a confidant or just someone, hey, I got something going on or something's happened in the industry. Can you give me advice?
Well, sometimes I do chat with Noah Vale quite a bit. Devin Diaz is another one that's definitely very open and honest and will ask for the same thing. Ruthie J is another one. She is
Shout out to her.
very talented. I love her so much. She's definitely someone that you can talk to and she'll be open and honest about it. A lot of these people don't hold back because a lot of them know there is no point in holding back because
Correct.
what's the point of lying about that? It's not going to benefit anybody. And if you're trying to work with someone to get their best, how are you going to do that by lying?
And how well do you accept that or receive that constructive criticism? Let's face it. Sometimes sometimes when we get criticized, whether it's constructed or not, we're human, and we sometimes get bothered by it or we take offense. How well on it? Sometimes I'm pretty good at taking the constructive criticism, but there's time it kind of motivates you in a negative way to want to do better. Is that something that you can relate to?
I take the I take the criticism if anybody says anything and they're not happy with how something came out or how something went down. I take it in. I ask, okay, how is it that what happened? What is it that you didn't like about it? Take in what they say and okay, apply it to the next time. Okay, this is what happened, what didn't work. Let's change it and not do that again.
Who did you valet for?
I remember I went to an Atomic League wrestling show. I was part for a day. It was supposed to be for much more, but the group suddenly broke up and nobody said anything to me. It was a faction called the Crazy Bastards. So basically, they were like psych patients that escaped the ward, and I was their nurse. And they were,
Were you
and
like Harley Quinn? Were
unfortunately,
you like are you like an evil nurse or
I had to keep them boys in line. That was my job, which
so you're like Nurse Ratched?
doesn't really change nothing. So,
Well, I
but it was
guess
a fun time.
if you can't rely on the Crazy Bastards to stay together, what can you rely on in this world?
Myself.
Okay, there you go. So who's in the Crazy Bastards? Anyone that we should boo when we see them?
No, we don't have to do any of them. As far as I know, the only one that's still wrestling right now is the one and only Insane John Strain.
Okay.
So anytime you see him, there will be a good chance he'll come out with a paper plates mask on. So definitely look out for that. Definitely a fun character to watch, and a lot of people and the kids really have fun with it.
Who would you say was your biggest rival in the female division?
I try not to think of any female wrestler as my rival, really. I don't know. I just like to think of it as people that I can learn from and take in what I'm doing or watch what they're doing and apply it to myself. Ones that I definitely look out for, besides Ruthie J, the current Coastal Championship Wrestling champion, Ruthie J, the former champion who is now in the Feds, Nikki Blackheart, who is now Reina Volcan over there.
She's fantastic.
La Brava Escobar, someone that I'd seen for quite some time, who is very talented as well as in her faction.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. Sí, parte de la sangre controversial.
Yes.
Con ella, Salazar y Romeo Quevedo. There is so many.
Is Clarissa Rivers doing anything down there?
Not that I'm aware of.
How about Selena De Laurentiis? She's still bouncing around?
Probably, but I think she might be more on the WoW channel over on the other side of the United States.
Oh, I think she's doing the LA thing.
I think she is. Although I think sometimes they do most of their shows now in Vegas.
Okay. WoW is something I thought about checking out from time to time. It's just there's so much wrestling.
I check it out sometimes mainly to keep up with what's happening with Miami Sweet Heat.
Ah, well, tell us about that.
Well, I remember first meeting them before we're getting into wrestling and seeing like they're pretty good and definitely people that can be a dominant faction or a dominant duo on TV, and they've definitely proven that by being multiple time WoW tag team champions over there for sure. Whether they were faces or heels, you'll either love them or you hate them, or you just love to hate them.
Who is it that you have worked with that you've seen go on to, a bigger promotion that that you take special pride in?
Well, I remember seeing for the first time on AW Dark. I was watching it and I saw Amber Nova, who was one of the first people that I had seen in the Florida indie scene, as well as, of course, Ruthie having her moments on AEW and NWA for a
Yeah.
time being. Anytime I see anybody that I know get into any promotion, I always feel happy for them and want big things for them.
I really thought that Ruthie was going to sign with NWA or that they were going to sign her. It seemed like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. And anything that did happen, that's between them.
Yeah, usually. I mean, this is not a news network. We're not looking to break
Well, I don't
news.
know the logistics, but I'm not going to say anything. That's not my place anyway. So.
Oh, well, it sounds like you do know something, but we're not going to push you because, like I said, this isn't a news network anyway, and that's not what this is for. But Ruthie, if you want to talk about it, we're love to have you guest. If you don't want to talk about it, still love to have you as a guest. And one of my favorite things to do is talk to wrestlers about non-wrestling things. So I know you love wrestling. I mean, obviously that's where I know you from. But what else do you love? Like, what else, like, makes you happy? What are your other passions, hobbies, interests?
Well, I am. Those that know me know that for a very long time, I am a big anime fan. So I enjoy watching anime. I have a small collection of Funko Pops, mostly anime characters. I've been watching since I was 8 years old. And there's a lot of strong female characters to look up to that I just enjoy seeing. And some of the best ones are written by women,
Give us some
whether it's
titles.
male or female.
Yeah, give us some titles.
I might recommend a lot of slightly older ones because I slight bias, but they're pretty good. One of the ones that they do say, not just me, but many an article say is considered the perfect story in anime is called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And it's about two brothers that practice alchemy to try to bring their mother back after she passes, which is a big no-no. And it results in the older one losing his arm and a leg, and the other one loses their body entirely, so they're trying to get that back.
Sounds tough. Sounds. I don't know how you do that
It's
without a
tough,
body.
but it's good. Of
Okay.
course, classic ones like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of kids grew up watching Inuyasha on Toonami, Sailor Moon. I'm watching Bleach right now, which is considered one of the big three, which is three anime/manga that came out around the same time and that sold around the same numbers around the same time in the 90s. So that consists of Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto.
Okay. So which one of these have like the kung fu witches always wearing Catholic schoolgirl outfits that always get ripped when they're fighting each other?
That would be High School of the Dead or High School DxD.
Okay. That must be the
Anything with the
one.
word school in the title.
That must be the one I saw. 'Cause now,
I try to
now,
avoid this. It makes you feel weird.
as it should. They are weird. But they were now for me. Old school is Star Blazers, Battle of the Planets. Those that the original. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember with Chim Chim Speed Racer, the original Speed Racer. So that's how far back I go.
Another good one, Fist of the North Star.
Very good one. Very good one.
Listen to you. Why don't you two have a conversation about Fizz of the North Star? Fits of the North Star. What's that about?
Kind of similar to the story of Cowboy Bebop, someone that's trying to find someone that they have lost and is trying to just live their life, even though it's like basically like World War Z, so to speak, like mixed with Mad Max. And then they do all kinds of crazy things, and then just like there's a scene where there's like one hit, and then everything just explodes. Man has that much power.
Wow. I have been told the Dragon Ball Z is based loosely on Journey to the West and the adventures of Shu Wen Feng, which I might be saying that wrong, but the Monkey King. Still waiting
It
for
is the
someone.
godfather of anime, as a lot of people say, because it did inspire a lot of the ones we have now, even though It's not my favorite. They have fights. Problem is, it drags on. And then people like to talk shit about One Piece. That's where they got it from.
All right. Well, I'm going to need someone at
One
some
fight,
point to
15
explain.
episodes. It's like, that's too much.
Now, I see you're into anime. Do you cosplay?
Yes.
Okay, and one is a go-to that you love, enjoy doing the cosplay. What that we know that's a staple of yours that you knock it out of the park.
Well, thank you. I look at characters that I feel like I can either relate to or I enjoy their story, or just ones that just like hit close to home that I wear the outfit or dress up and I just feel empowered, whether I'm dressing as an anime character, whether I dress as a wrestler, whether I dress as a cartoon character from American animation, or anything that comes to mind. I have too many ideas in mind, but there is going to be the Tampa Bay Pro Convention happening in a few weeks that I plan on going to all 3 days for.
Oh, that's great.
Do you have a particular outfit or a character
I
that
have 3.
you're portraying? You have 3, and let me ask this question: when you do that, do you feel like that's an escape? You know, for me as a wrestler, as a father, a husband, a son. To me, my escape is professional wrestling, from the bills, from all the everyday life. So I get that escape from watching sports and also professional wrestling. Is anime or in the ring something that helps you escape?
Yes, wrestling definitely does help as an escape from the real world. It gives me that vicarious feeling of beating down my real world problems for a minute, even though I can't actually fight them down. And I feel that cosplaying does the same. I can dress as someone else, feel their spirit, feel their energy, and just be that for the day, whether I'm just dressing like that or just embodying it. And it's always a fun time. And if people like it and want to take pictures, even better. Had it happen before.
Do you go to cons, dress up as now? Are you an attendee or are you a vendor or whatever?
I'm usually an attendee. I did attend Florida SuperCon as a speaker for a panel at Florida SuperCon. The video is up for the interview that we did. It was Women of Wrestling, Women Run the World. It included people in the wrestling business in all aspects, not just in the ring. We had Ruthie J. We had Xena Did That, who does social media with wrestling. We had a couple people that specialize in working as ring announcers, podcasters, backstage interviewers, ran by a friend of the Unpopular Review brand, Katrina Storm. And it was a fun time.
I know Katrina. I've actually
She asked, and I said, "How soon can I say yes?"
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I actually have 2 shows with her on Garden Views. One was called On the Cusp, and one was Over the Cusp. It's probably time for the 3rd in that trilogy. Or maybe we'll just bring it on this show and talk about it, because she's working with so many promotions now. So yeah, that's great. I thought that you were on that panel. I just wasn't sure if it was the same panel or not, but it sounds like it was, which is terrific. In that area, I mean, do you know April Hunter at all?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, she does a lot of cosplay and she goes to a lot of the cons. She was in wrestling and she was on WoW and Nitro and stuff like that. So yeah, I keep trying to get her on this network and it keeps not working, but one day it will. Maybe. We hope, we think. Who do you train with? Who's like your coach or coaches?
Well, at the moment, due to finance, I don't really have a trainer per se. I do more so go to the gym and train myself with taking care of everything, not just in-ring training. So as much as I would like to get in the ring and train with some other people and get those reps in, I don't have that right now, unfortunately. I don't have that luxury.
When you did, who were you training with? Another reason to get that belt back so you can get those big Benjamins again.
Well, I mean, I wasn't making that much Benjamins, but
the champion? Come on now. I find that hard to believe.
I was champion for 5 seconds. They don't give you Benjamins for champions for 5 seconds.
I understand, but if you were champion for more than 5 seconds, you would start getting those Benjamin checks, those big paydays.
Well, in the Fallout, I might make some Benjamins or a little bit along those lines. Being a camera person, and I think I like that.
Okay, but I mean, you need to get some revenge. Maybe an evil camera person, where you
I
clobber
mean,
people over the head with. Yeah.
I mean, my revenge is threatening the people that they're lucky I haven't charged them for my footage. So they try
Mm.
to
So,
say something like, "Y'all are lucky I haven't charged you for any of this yet."
so
Maybe I
obviously
should start.
let me ask this. It seems like you have a passion for the audio and video side and production of the professional wrestling. Is there did you go to school that so forth? My son graduated a year ago from Full Sail. Very proud in his music. He has a bachelor in the music science, Battle Victoria and all that. Did you graduate from that kind of production school or stuff?
Oh no, I was self-taught.
Oh, that's much respect on that there. And tell us a little about more. I want to know a little more outside of the ring from Sabrina Treya. I want to know about your back, your upbringing, from the Cuban raíces. Glow. Let's go. I'm very. You see, I'm very proudful of the Hispanic shine. So I want to know a little more.
And of course, I'm Latino by marriage. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it still counts if you're it still counts through marriage. So for every person out there, especially for the white people, it counts for y'all if you married someone Latino. You are
and
part
and
of the Latino family,
There you go, Jeff.
especially if you
Muzzle
can prove
top.
it.
and who's whiter than this, really? I mean,
I know
famous
a few
maybe.
people,
Kate Blanchett, step up. Who?
but I grew up in the lovely town of Hialeah, Florida, close to
Shout out.
Miami.
My uncle, my godfather lived by 122nd and 78 by the hospital.
And I wasn't really a big wrestling kid at the time. Not because I didn't want to, I just didn't watch it too much, honestly. I got into it more so help because of friends of mine that did it themselves. I went to a show to go see them, and I just fell in love with watching them. And then what a couple of them had to move, were moving out of their house and we're moving into a new one. And it was the same weekend as WrestleMania 37. So we were watching that after we put all their stuff away and got stuff settled down, we were watching it there. And it was Sasha versus Bianca for the SmackDown Women's Championship that really solidified it for me. Like, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm going to start watching the Feds. So I did. I would watch it on Hulu. I fast forwarded through the men. I wasn't really that interested in the men's wrestling at the time. It was women's wrestling for me always. At some point, I decided, okay, I'm going to watch everything. And so I did, which I found some men's wrestlers that I do like. So good for that. But every time I watch a new promotion, it's always because of the women's wrestling that gets me into WWE, AEW, NWA, TNA, MLW, you name it, it's because of the women.
So, who introduced you to lucha libre? For me, it's my grandfather. I always say my connection. I thank my grandfather getting me into it back in, back in the '84, watching WrestleMania 1, getting all that. He gave me his stories about Antonio Roca, Pedro Morales, speaking about all different things, Harley Race, Ric Flair. Having that bond. ¿Quién en la familia te introdució a la lucha libre? Who was the one that got you into it?
Well, she is a ring announcer in the business, De La Rosa, which I did not know directly at the time yet. They had mentioned before that, oh, we're going to a wrestling show. I was like, okay, have a good time. I did not think that they meant they were part of the wrestling show. She was a ring announcer. She was with somebody that is an indie wrestler. There's some stuff that happened with them, so not getting into that. But they told me about it once when I met them officially, and they were like, you should come to see it. And I was like, okay. One day something popped up on social media, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a ticket and surprise them. Like, I messaged her. I'm like, what do I do? Do I go over there and buy a ticket, or do I pay for it beforehand and I go? And I went and I surprised them. I watched everything. I enjoyed it. I would see bits and pieces here and there when I was younger, such as watching Mucha Lucha. Sometimes on TV shows, they would do a little bit of wrestling. I was like, I kind of like it, but I didn't know where to start with it when I was younger. So
So
this is
when
about
you watch,
almost 6 years ago.
sorry to interrupt. But when you started watching Mucha Lucha, La Lucha Libre at home, before you went to buy a ticket, anyone in particular, like, did the abuela, the abuelos, or mom or dad
My
put the
family
wrestling on?
wasn't. My family isn't super big on wrestling. They don't mind it because they know that I like it. I learned that my sister and my brother-in-law sometimes would see it at their friends' houses. So they're a
Okay.
little more familiar with it than the rest of my family is, but they know that I like it, so they always support it for me.
But do your memory as a child? How do you remember like your first ever introduction? To me, is watching WrestleMania 1, watching or even before WrestleMania, watching Hulk Hogan pinning Iron Sheik. That's my first recollection, and where I said, "Esto me encanta. I love this." Is
Well,
there that
Esto
she
me
moment?
wasn't
encanta me dio
born in
eso
during
chica. I
WrestleMania
didn't,
1.
No, I'm not. I'm
I
not.
didn't
I'm
watch
not
it.
asking you to like that moment, but there's got to be a moment in your brain, in your mindset that you watched it, regardless of anyone telling you about it or going to a show when you're in niña and go, "I me gusta esto. I really like this."
I didn't have that particular moment in my childhood watching it and realizing it. I'm not like a lot of wrestling fans that started watching
Okay.
very young. Even though I did watch the cartoon Lucha Lucha as a kid and still don't know how I didn't get into it, but it wasn't like something that we flipped through on the TV and it was like, there's WWE
Okay.
or anything like that. It started 5, 6 years ago when seeing my friends wrestle in person for the first time. So it had a place in my heart after that. Indie wrestling has it more because there's just such a raw, natural charm about it, which nothing wrong with the feds or any TV ones, but this just feels more real, more of a connection, especially because you can actually talk to the talent afterwards. You can ask them anything and things like that. Tell them what you think if you want to be like them, or say, "Oh, I want to wrestle you one day," and things like that to give them a little encouragement or basically hype yourself up.
So that personal experience to have that conversation with your favorite talented wrestler in the independent scene, having that connection to have that personal conversation really got you invested emotionally in that, just not just the independent scene but in wrestling. That's why I always say this: any independent wrestler or any wrestler, take the time just to conversate, a simple hello, how are you, to any fan could make. You don't know who you inspire. So any other of the independent wrestlers, any other wrestlers that watch out there and you complain about people honking you or honking you or bothering you, just remember how you're impacting someone's love for the sport and the industry to grow. And that's a good testament. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, we actually did break news today. We have found an actual person who, closer to their adulthood than childhood,
Mm-hmm.
became a wrestling fan, and that's rare. And not only that, they're involved in the business. Yes, world champion for about 5 seconds. I think it was a little bit longer than that because you had enough time to take a picture. So obviously it took more than 5 seconds before someone clobbered you to take back their title.
Well, I mean, the belt is currently being held by someone that we refer to ourselves as twins because we're just that close. He is in the independent team named Saeed El Savan. Been in the business for quite some time. He is very, very talented, someone that I will always support to the end. And I
What's
was
her name?
keeping
I'm
guard of
sorry.
that belt for sure.
What's her
Hmm?
name? What's her name?
His name is Saeed El Savan.
Oh, that's his name. He he has the women's championship.
No, he hasn't. No,
Oh,
that
you were
belt's
the
mainly
men's
men's.
champion. You
I
were
was the
the.
men, I was the men's champion for 5 seconds, and then he won it back.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. Well, all right. What about the women's championship? Can't you go for that?
Emily Locke is currently holding it down over there, and I like Emily, so I'm gonna politely decline.
Really? I mean, as a former men's champion, you should be first contender for the women's
I
championship.
mean, probably, but I just like watching just a little bit more.
Okay. Are you on the PWI 500?
No, I'm not. I'm not there with my experience just yet. Maybe in a few years. I don't know.
All right. Maybe with a heater like Mr. Thomas, you get on the radar.
It sounds like you want to be the heater, Evil Dose.
I would love to be a heater. I'm just not capable of being a heater. What I could do is I could probably be like a discount version of Paul Heyman. I could do that kind of thing. So I could be the one to draw the heat. I could do the distraction, but I can't be a heater. I can't be the thumper. He can be the thumper. He was also the number 5 manager in the world one year when he managed the MLW World's Heavyweight Champion Umayyad brother Alex Kane. And Boomaye is for the people, after all, and we're all people. I mean, just the way I see it.
That we are.
Yeah, no. But if you would like me to be your heater, sure, talk to the promotion. I don't require first class. I don't require expensive hotels. Just and the bump I take will be ridiculously bad because every part of my body is bad. Bad back, bad head, bad arms, bad knees. So, so if you're looking for that, if that sounds good to you, I'm the man.
We'll put him on a
Well,
fedora
we don't want to hurt
we'll
you
put him
too bad.
we put him in a fedora and a cigar and give him a newspaper underneath his armpit. He's ready to go.
I have done that before. I've had the fedora, I've had the cigar. I even had my Cartier sunglasses, which I can't find, which is devastating to me. I think Trick Williams stole mine. So, because we have a very similar pair. And I'm out of suspects because clearly Trick Williams has been in my condo many, many times. So, I mean, because we're like, this. All right.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, right. Grown folks are talking now. So, what shows are you covering now on Unpopular Review?
Well, we still discuss Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. Sometimes when there's a prediction for any upcoming pay-per-view, if we're able to, we do discuss that, who we think will win the match, why we think that, etc., etc. Occasionally, we might do a little fun game here and there. We do have the entertainment site still reviewing TV shows, movies, games over there as well. So there's still a little bit of something for everybody. I've occasionally done stuff for the entertainment side.
What shows particularly? I know that there used to be, and maybe it's different, but there used to be your show was this, and that's what you did. Maybe you'd be calling as a, help with
We
something
still do
else.
that. We just
Huh?
change things around of who hosts what.
Right. So which show right now are you hosting?
I still host NXT.
NXT. So if people want to see you, they would find you on the NXT show. Do you go live after NXT?
I mean, I used to back when I used to when I was over there in person occasionally, but through the power of ESPN, now we can live stream without worrying about watching it the next day on the CW or at Hulu. So
Okay,
I'm very much able to discuss it on air after we go live, which we will be doing later tonight.
So will we.
Okay. Yeah. Are you the competition? I mean, we go about.
I guess so. But we could collaborate.
Well, if we can get the okay from the heads of the channel, then so
Yes.
be it.
Yes. The executive consultant. We'll see. I'm seeing him next month at a wedding. So, are you going to that wedding?
I didn't even know there was a wedding next month.
Well, awkward.
It's okay.
It sees. Are you okay? How come you didn't come to MLW in Osceola, Florida, in January?
Osceola.
I didn't even know that MLW was going over there that day.
Okay. Well, the good friend of your network, the Chris was there. Chris met me there, as did my son, who lived there at the time, as did my best friend, Mr. Thomas, who was working there at the time. Little did we know, a couple months later he wouldn't be. And as was our mutual friend, Ref David, who was in a ref outfit but really wasn't reffing. And while he was working, he wasn't working, but he has since been working for them. In other words, being at shows and getting paid, but that time was his Avery Styles paying dues.
Okay, let's not go there. That kid is still learning.
Right. No. I believe me. I'm on team Avery Styles and not team Eric Hannon.
I mean, as far as that goes, everybody comes up differently. So not everybody's going to know the ins and outs of what to do when you're there. So if you're there and if you don't really help with setup and taking stuff down, and they don't tell you that you're supposed to, and you're new to that in that sense, then I don't blame the kid. As far as we knew, what they said, he was so focused on his match that he was thinking about it, he did it, and then he left.
Right.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes people come, do their match, and they leave.
And his dad probably said, "Don't leave my side." Because his dad was there. And I'm sure his dad didn't want to be sort of alone in that, and that was part of the booking, is that AJ Styles would be there as well. So at least that's my understanding from the various voices I've heard on the subject, including the promoter himself, who said Avery was not booked to do that kind of thing. He was there for a particular purpose, but he did offer, and I told him he doesn't have to. That he didn't, and he was offered, and he was very polite, and he didn't have to. So it's really a non-issue, except that some guy
Look at that.
decided
He
to
offered. The kid does know. They just told him he didn't have to. And
Right.
unfortunately, when you offer and they say no, thank you, then it looks like you don't care when people put it up on the internet.
Person. Again, singular. We shouldn't. This was caused by one person.
Well, it was caused by one person, then it's had the wrestling online community divided for a bit. Some are siding with it, and some are like, he should help no matter what.
Yes.
They told him he doesn't have to.
The internet community is a bunch of contrarians anyway, because you could say outside is beautifully sunny, but there's always going to be a couple of contrarians that say, well, it's a lot of clouds. I don't think it's perfectly sunny. I see a bunch of pockets of cloud. It's not really clear. They're contrarians.
I could say the sky is blue, the grass is green, Division Sex is tag team champions, and they need to lose the belts. But
right.
Do you think that you will work on a show that Katrina Storm is working on as well?
I mean, if I ever go up there, or she ever comes down here to do it, then maybe. If not,
possible.
Anything is possible.
New York to Florida, it's like, there's a bunch of states in between, but, I'm in one of them. We're flyover states. The New York to Florida exchange, I mean, sure, New Jersey, a bit of a hiccup, a little bit of Philly, but the rest of us were flyover, including DC.
Well, anything can happen. And there is a company that is on the works and should be up and running by March, and I will be a part of that. I will mainly be the camera person since they have a lot of talent already in the back, so I don't mind. But
can you tell us a little bit about that? Can you tell us the name, the where, anybody who's...
So it'll be over here in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. It's the QWO. I'm trying Queer Wrestling. I can't remember what the O stands for right now. I can't remember what the O stands for the name, but it is going to be mainly anybody that's in the LGBTQ community in wrestling as well. And they're going to be, there's people like, of course, Noah Vale's in it, Kendall Ryan. We have Tiny Tonally and her partner Brian Atomic. We have Jayla Heights. Montiero Montoya, he is someone that I have met over in Tampa for shows for Bar Wars Wrestling, which is a fun time. And there's more people that I have not met yet that are going to be part of it, so I look forward to working with everybody once it starts.
A shout out to Jayla Heights. I've had the honor and privilege to interview. Awesome story. You can check out on my Sports Jedi Network. Me and Chris, we interviewed about a year ago. Had a real good time with Jayla Heights Santiago. Check out our interview. Shout out to her. Good job that she will be at that show on that federation. Let me ask this real quick. You're doing the camera work. Is there any particular place that you'll love to showcase your talent in a promotion, whether it's in Japan, in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, in Canada? Is there anything in a bucket list for you, whether it's either as a wrestler or as your production with your videography with your talent?
I mean, I feel like going anywhere outside of Florida would be a fun time to go watch some wrestling. I would love to go up to New York and watch a good old House Glory show.
Oh, but not watching it. I want to trabajar, to work it, whether it's with the camera, behind the camera, or in the ring.
If somebody emails me and asks me to work with them, why not?
Throw it out there. This is an opportunity. You never know who's listening. Put it out there. Tell her what you could do, your experience. What would you want? Like what you get out of it? What could you offer to a House of Glory who's probably listening, or Respect the Craft? Ray Sanchez, a good friend of the program that runs that promo, and so forth. Throw out there. Let's make some shit happen.
I mean, I'm a hard worker. I will do whatever you will ask me to do that is not totally insane or kill me completely. Uh, but I am somebody who will show up, show out, do what she needs to do, listen to everybody that needs anything. If they need me to do something particularly, I will give them my all, and I won't back down, and I won't fight nobody. And if help
But
is needed, I'll
correct.
offer it. I'll do it.
That's your attitude and your component and your character. But tell us your skill set. Do you like to work on the hard climber side, your scoop, or you're a handheld?
I mean, currently my version is is sitting hard by the hard cam area, and I predominantly for right now use an iPad as my camera, which works out very well because I can record and I can put the videos up. Most times it's not edited, which is good for the talent because that way they can hear if the people like what they're doing or not.
All
You
right.
can hear if they have a positive, a negative, or no reaction. And they always say a reaction is better than nothing because if you
Correct.
don't got anything, you're not doing it right.
So
And
you
if
like
you're comfortable, throw out your email. If anybody wants to use you on all these and anywhere outside in the independent scene where they could contact you, and then of course that's not our business. When they contact you, you guys will speak about your fees and all that other stuff on there. Throw your email out. I definitely would. Maybe you never know.
or how she
Well,
wants to
for
be
right
contacted.
now, you can I could be contacted through cinemachic68@gmail.com. That's what I've used before to talk to other people, send anything that they needed. So that one can be used as well, if anything.
Is that chic? A
Chic.
CHIC,
Yes,
like la freak, like say chic, not the Iron Sheik.
yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm not sure which makes me happier. I love both the Iron Sheik and disco, so it's all good for me either way.
Can't go wrong with both.
Right? You can have the chic. Why didn't anyone come up with that character? That's genius. The chic, like a very fashionable chic.
I don't know. I mean,
Freaked out.
sometimes we think of characters or we see them, and it's like, why has it taken so long for someone to do this? And we're just like,
I don't know. Intellectual property asserted on the chic to the extent that this is
it's
interstate
already
commerce.
trademarked over here.
That's right. It's
You're
already
gonna have to buy the
trademarked.
trademarking from him.
TM, just like Amber Brook did a few last week. So we had we're TM asserted over here. Listen, I'm the proud owner of a couple of trademarks and one pending. So we're cooking with gas over here. Which, by the way, Sabrina Estella, that should be trademarked. Or the Cuban the Cuban brand or the Cuban bar. I'm sorry, the
The
Cuban
Cuban
Barbie.
Bratz-style, basically.
Yeah, whatever it
Well,
is you
I
want.
also like to refer to myself as a Bratz-style Barbie doll.
Yes. Do you ever dress as a Cuban Barbie doll? And is there like how would you do that other
Every
than
other time I go to a wrestling show because I do not like to just conventionally go and wear jeans and merchandise, which nothing wrong with that. I just feel like everybody kind of does that. So it's kind of all the same. For a while I would dress like I would have fun. I would put fun things together, which made some people ask, "Are you part of the show?" I'm like,
right?
"Not today, but I'm just having fun with it." Sometimes I'll buy somebody's merchandise and I'll style it around like the colors of their gear or anything that looks like their style based on their character. Sometimes I'll even do some custom work, add some beadwork with some fringe on it, and I'll wear it. Normally, I don't, when I finish it, I like to wait till I go so I can see a genuine reaction, which is always fun. And I've had a few of them tell me and or give me free t-shirts so I could do that.
Right. Now, I want to say something because Sabrina, we don't really know each other that well. We just know each other a little bit. But I have seen you many, many, many times, many, many more times than we've spoken, obviously, or had any interactions. And I want to verify she is always wearing a different wrestling shirt. So this woman must have 40 or 50 wrestling t-shirts, maybe more. But
I probably do.
but she is definitely out there practicing what she preaches. She is supporting the people that she's volunteering for sometimes, and then and then now maybe getting some remuneration, and hopefully more to come in the future. But she's a supporter as well, so chances are she's bought your merchandise as well. which is cool. And half the time, I don't know who the wrestler is, but you can tell a wrestling. It's either an indie band or it's a wrestling T-shirt. I mean, those are sort of the only two
Like you
suspects.
put on a shirt with the musician. Name more than 5 songs from them, and you can't name their top hits. Why does that matter? I've bought a shirt a couple times. Didn't really wear it too much, just because I liked what it looked like. But I didn't really wear it afterwards. But most times I wear something, I know who I'm talking about.
And listen, if I like 5 songs by a group and they're like within the last 25 years, I'd say that they must have either hit the big time or they at least resonate with me. So, because at a certain age, you're like not really that interested in new music any longer. However stupid that may sound, it's just like you're sort of all set. Like I'm good with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and Marvin Gaye and George Clinton and Hall & Oates. It's like I'm all set. It's cool. I got my stuff. I got my playlists and whatnot. But every now and then, usually it's on a beer commercial or on a TV show like this, something comes and I go, that's a cool song. And that's where Shazam comes in and helps things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I still have Shazam.
Let me find many an indie song, an indie wrestler entrance song, so I can have it on my list, ready to listen.
What's your entrance music, or what would your entrance music be?
Well, if I were to pick as of right now, I would probably go with Dangerous by the band Set It Off, whose drummer is actually in the independent wrestling scene, Max Danziger, who is also currently the Pro Wrestling Action Voltage champion as well, and House of Champions champion too.
House of Champions champion.
I believe he might be I don't know exactly which title he's holding right now, but I do know that they're having a show tomorrow, and he will be defending his belt against 4 other people, so that should be fun.
Well, if the House of Champions, they're all champions.
Well, you got to go over there and see. They usually have shows in the middle of the week. I don't know why, but.
How many indies do you go to in Florida? Yeah.
I go to quite a few. Most times I wind up frequenting the same shows if I like it enough. But as of right now, I frequent Coastal Championship Wrestling, Pride of Wrestling, Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, Bar Wars Wrestling, which I go there more to record than anything. Sometimes if anything pops up or catches my eye, I'll do it. FIP, Full Impact Pro Wrestling, they sometimes have shows on Sundays. WWE Proving Ground, part of the same company as FIP. So I go to a few. Most times it's wind up to be the same ones, but if anything catches my eye, such as one ran by an indie wrestler named Logan Cruz, who has it every year in December called Hope for the Holidays, a free wrestling show, and people can bring gifts and make donations to help out kids in need that don't really get at Christmas, which he's done every year for a few years now, and it's such a beautiful thing. So quick shout out to you. Love you, Logan.
Logan Cruz, is he related to you, Kevin Cruz?
No, not neither me or Santana or Montana.
Well, I mean,
maybe you can get him on the show and investigate. Y'all could probably do a DNA test some way, somehow, and we will determine if you are related.
Yeah. And by the way, any of Sabrina's fans and coworkers and colleagues out there who would like to get some media experience, to the extent that this is media experience or some exposure, come on. We have an open door here. We want to talk to you. We don't care if you're big time or if you were big time. We don't care if you're on the way up or the way down or just going back. We want to hear your story. So, and
just ask any of them. I get their footage. I send it to them very quickly so they can watch back or make clips on social media.
Well, hey, listen. If you send me your contact list, I will. But if you make any introductions, I certainly will follow up on it. Or Kevin will, depending on whoever you feel more comfortable with. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Kevin, does she go to more promotions than you go to? I mean, you're a big local wrestling guy as well.
No, she's outdone me. No way, no how. She takes the cake. She takes my cap. Take my cap off to you. I'm glad. Thank you for supporting the independence in the way you do. You may not think it, but those wrestlers see familiar faces. It means a lot to them because now
They've
you're
seen me
going
for
there.
5 years, so they've
Yeah,
seen
no,
quite
that's
a bit
good.
of me.
And
Well,
we're
They
giving you
haven't
your
got sick of me
flowers.
now.
No,
have
we're
you
going to
ever
give you your
have any of
flowers.
these promotions thought about? Do any of these promotions have a podcast about their promotions?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, if any
I
of
know
them are
people that have their
interested,
own podcasts and discuss wrestling, whether it's indie wrestling or wrestling on TV, but companies of their wrestling companies that have their own, that I'm not 100% sure.
well, if any of them are interested, we can platform them. It's no cost to them, and they can come on and talk about their shows, and or the scene, or both, or whatever it is. I would say you could do it too, except there's a non-compete with a popular review that I'm sure that you'd have to work out, because I'm not working out, though there's actually no conflict in that programming because they only want to do the big boy shows.
Yeah, I would love to hear about some more stuff. What's going on with Bar Wars? I know La Brava and the group there, but they were on and they worked there a lot, and I know about that through them. And would love to hear. I'm gonna ask her to return back on and see if we could too find out more about Bar Wars. But definitely, that's one of those. And so anything
Oh, it's
around
a
like
fun time.
yeah,
I have my playlist ready and everything for it on my channel.
that's nice. And then also Coastal Championship Wrestling. I know they had a shot. They had a show at Son of the Beach here in Kissimmee. They
Yes,
come
they
once a
did.
month. Would love to. I personally, I've asked. I met Ruth DJ in TNA last November when she was there. I would love her to join us on our show to conversate. I would love to hear her journey, her story, just like yourself. I would love to talk to her. I saw Gianna Capri, who now it's WWE Evolve, at
Oh, good
Valentina
God.
Rossi. But yeah, at Valentina
She's one of
Yes,
Rossi.
my
Valentina
weaknesses.
Rossi. I remember seeing her frequently at Coastal Championship Wrestling, as well as for a little bit on NWA before they had to kick her out the group so that way she could be a part of Evolve. I remember seeing in NWA as well as ALW the wrestler formerly known as Eric Ademi, now Anya Rune on Evolve. So that was always fun.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, part of the network here is Luke Menzies, formerly known as Rich Holland, coming out of his tour, part of the network. We got a lot of different people that we love to hear their story. We want to hear
Did
their
I mention
story.
my
We
best
want to hear
friend?
amplified. Mr. Thomas, of
Right.
course.
My best friend.
And his best friend, Barry Bonds, met on over the weekend.
That's right. I mean, he's my best friend. I'm not his best friend, just so that everyone's clear.
And the same thing goes probably with Mr. Thomas and Barry Bonds.
Yeah, but it's maybe even more of a gap there than actually between. I think I'm much closer to being Thomas's actual best friend than he and Barry Bonds are. So
hey, you're actually more closer than I am than being Santana's cousin.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you? What can I tell? I either hit it off with people or I don't. There's very little in the middle. It's
I mean, you either like them or you don't.
Pretty much.
And I've been very grateful that almost everybody I've met, they like me.
Well, what's not to like? I mean, you're the Cuban baddie. I mean, it sounds like you give a lot of yourself. You've donated a lot of your sweat, equity, and expertise with really no expectation of anything. And now you're starting to turn it into something that might be parlayed into a career or a side career or whatever it is, but you're having fun. You're a former men's heavyweight champion. Nobody can take that away from you.
Nope.
And you're in the record books. And I am going to say that you have now been added to the list of former world heavyweight champions I have talked to. So we're talking about EC3. We're talking about Tyrus. We're talking about Atrocity Cruel. We're talking about Alex Kane and you, Sabrina Estella. I mean, just men's world heavyweight champions that I can just think of that I've spoken to, offhand. So, there's probably others as well. But, this might be the biggest honor, though, of them all.
You flatter me too much.
It's about being a good host, Though Tyrus wanted to start a cult together, but Tyrus also didn't follow up on that. So, it's...
How do you want to start a cult but you don't follow on that? Make sense.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. It's all about
He
it's
didn't,
all
he
about
didn't
the
have he didn't
follower.
have the Kool-Aid. He didn't have enough Kool-Aid.
You you got to really commit if you're gonna start a new religion. You got to commit.
Well, I mean, it started many, many years ago, and it's called professional wrestling,
Here you go. There you go.
and it's a
Uh-oh.
good one. So.
What happened there? Was that nasty men's champion who glulied you before?
No, not Taif. We talked that out. We're good. It was a
There you
brief
go.
little thing. He won his belt back, so we're cool now.
Okay, this little twin
Although it's
thing.
funny, he called himself my twin, and then a few months later joined a faction called House of Torres, and they're a heel faction, so that was fun.
You
And
could
then
be a heel.
one of my best friends, Tyson Malrick, formerly known as Wheezy T, called himself my best friend, and then a few months later joined the faction. It's like, what are y'all doing? Is it me? Am
Exactly.
I the factor?
There's no friends in wrestling. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. DTA. That's what Stone Cold Steve Austin taught everyone. So I
Well,
mean,
apparently they're not learning, because especially a lot of heel factions, they're getting together
well,
and are inevitably going to break up.
well, if they're not turning, they're not learning. Well, maybe you can be the agent provocateur to break them up. Let's work on a storyline here where you're like playing both sides of the inner power struggle, because there's always an inner power struggle. There's always someone who thinks they're a leader, but there's always others that think that maybe someone else should be the leader, or the leader's a little bit too individualistic. And you know, maybe you can do like the Liv Morgan thing there, sort of, you
You
know.
mean you mean think that you are the greatest women's world champion of all time, even though you don't defend your belt for more than 100 days, and then you try to make it act like you're going to do it again, which nobody wants to see.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if nobody wants to hear that. I was more like saying that you cause a little trouble, but with a smile on your face, so that you have plausible deniability that you're causing any trouble. You're just asking questions. You're not Alex Jones, but you're just asking questions. You just want to make sure everyone's on the same page, but secretly, you're on two different books than they are. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Cuban Barbie brat being a little bratty, a little bit heely. We know you can be a face. We know you got a nice smile. We know that you have a good heart. Let's let's see that heel. Let's see that. Let's see some manipulation out there. Let's get it. These are my ideas. I'm a fantasy booking genius, clearly. What do you
Well,
think?
here we go. Let's see. Somebody's got to book it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we can talk to your twinsy best friend, or these former faction mates who they.
I mean, they became faction mates. I just watched from the sidelines wondering, why is this happening?
Well, that's not cool. You should go up to them and you should put your finger right in their chest and be like, "What's up, dudes?
No, I love all of them. I could never.
This is not heel talk."
I know it's not heel talk. I'm not in the heel mood. When they get me agitated, then I'll get in the heel mood.
Once we get you what?
Once they get me agitated, then I'll get in the heel mood.
Yeah,
Them all leaving you for a heel faction isn't getting you agitated. What will get you agitated?
Seeing the same person main event the same company multiple times because they feel like they can. That agitates me.
So Seth Rollins makes you agitated.
No, Roman Reigns did.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could put him in the same category.
I do. You're gonna say John Moxley, but anyway.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the men's side in AEW anymore.
So you
I feel
watch
like
it
the
at
women's
so you
storylines are more exciting.
so you watch 920 on Wednesdays.
Sometimes.
That's the only time they get for the women.
Wow.
I mean, unfortunately, which sucks, because times are a-changing, Tony Khan. Times are a-changing.
It's Wednesday. You know
when you
that means
only
920.
And if you only put one women's match or one women's segment, we have lost.
And you have like 60 women on the roster.
And barely any of them get used because they use the same one.
Well, I hope they're getting paid well anyway for their time.
Well, if they're getting paid to be backstage and not really doing much, then
I mean, it's a dream
can't
job
say
for
I-
some, not for all.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, Johnny Gargano's living the dream for some people. He's getting paid to just lie on a container backstage and just look miserable, and he's getting paid for that.
Johnny
To
Gargano
get
has
paid to do
never,
nothing is
he's
the
never
dream.
been more over in his career.
Exactly.
I mean, I kind of liked him before when he was the first Grand Slam champion of NXT when he had those matches with Adam Cole that were over 5 stars.
Sure, there's the same 350 people like that very much, but when you get to 35,000 or 350,000 or 3.5 million, he does better just lying on a trunk. Because nothing's not going to make him 5'5". I mean, it's just and he's not Daniel Bryan, so it's just it's just the way of the world. Anyhow, we're not here to talk about Johnny Gargano, who's blocked me on every platform. I mean, and obviously you can see why.
But shout out to Gargano.
Not really. Don't block people, you baby. I mean, public figure, for God's sake. It's not like I've ever, called you a bad name. Anyway, all right. We're going to talk about Sabrina. Sabrina, where can people find, follow, support you, and all that other good stuff?
Well, you can follow me on my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go throughout Central Florida and occasionally South. And I may record a wrestling match, may get included in something for a bit on there. You never know. You'll have to wait and see when I put the footage out. Going to a couple things this weekend. May or may not record. Don't know yet. I got a show Friday, going to NWA Saturday. I don't record there, but I go with my friends. And we dress up. We bring crazy signs that they make because one of them is a graphic designer, and we have such a fun time. Everybody backstage at NWA looks forward to what we're going to do next.
Okay, so I have a friend in NWA. I'm going to call him my friend because he's been on my show 3 times. And if I text him 3 times, he'll respond once. And that's Aaron Stevens. So,
we have fun with Aaron Stevens. I will tell you that right now. Our thing, because when my friend Beatrice, who makes our signs, which love you, B, she saw him and he reminded her of Tim Curry. So every time we see him, our thing is we say, "All hail Tim Curry, the Prince of Common Sense."
That's right. Well, he could do Pennywise. He could do a Pennywise gimmick if he wanted to.
And the latest thing was with his faction, the Federation of Champions, she made them look like members of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Excellent. That's fantastic.
And he was Rocky.
So on your YouTube channel, do you also cosplay for it or only sometimes?
I put up a couple things when I was went to conventions and such. If I get more footage of that this year, then I might. I still have pictures on my main Instagram as well as my TikTok. Love a Barbie doll.
Yeah, a lot of different names. That's good. All right. Well, that's fantastic. If you shoot them to Kevin, or maybe your guys, he'll put them in the show notes and all of that good stuff, so people can find it in one place. They don't have to remember it and all that good stuff. But thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on being the men's heavyweight champion for even a short period of time and being the 5th world's heavyweight men's champion that I have spoken to on podcasts. So that's exciting. And I can't wait till you're the 2-time men's heavyweight champion.
We'll see if that happens. Fingers crossed.
1 time, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. So we'll keep going. All right. Well, onward and upward. Thanks for being on the show. Good luck with everything, and tell those folks, if they want to get their indies out there and they want to get their people out here or themselves, they have an open door here at the Sports Jedi Network.
Yeah, Sabrina, muchas gracias. I appreciate you joining us, giving us your time. I got to know a little more of you. I hope our audience got to know more of you and follow you. And I hope that we see your talents continue to get amplified where they're in the ring, outside the ring, and not just in the independent promotion, possibly in the major big company. I nothing but want the best to see for you, and thank you again. Appreciate you, and that's our program today. We appreciate everyone to join us on the Sports Jedi Media. Follow. I'll have all that on the video description, so you can follow her channel, give a like, subscribe to her YouTube channel, and also follow her on her work covering the Raw and all the AEW, all the SmackDown coverage that they do on that network as well. We have no problem putting people over, as you know. That's what we do. So appreciate you. Gracias. May the sports be with you. Good night, everyone.